All right. Get this party started, shall we? Tonight we are going to be, I know the picture on the screen is very lovely right now, but there is topic on it very loosely. But happy belated Mother's Day. We're going to get on into it. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Had a lot of fun. Especially those gearing up for graduations and end of the school years. We're dealing with that right now, trying to prepare ourselves for that. I'm not going to be covering much of Amber and Chantal. I know I have their pictures up in the background, but I feel like they're kind of in their cycles right now and kind of pandering to their feeders. That's all well and good. Them eating on camera does add well to their bottom line, if not also their waistlines. I guess that's kind of the downside of catering to that part of this community or the community as a whole, is that they are cheering on for your health to decline. All I have to say is good luck to them on that. That'll be all we will be discussing with them. So let's get them out of here. Which is sad because like this is where my content started from, obviously. And now we are getting into a new era of different people to be covered. Let me make sure. Nope. There we go. Pull them out of the way here. We are going to be discussing Joni, a little update on Joni, also known as Autism Mom Life. Really, her content hasn't changed. We are still putting out our autistic children for the world to see. Nothing really has changed there. She has started this new true crime channel on TikTok, though, kind of discussing present day true crime cases. Though it looks like the only one that she's really covered so far is the Micah Miller case, and I'm assuming that she chose this specific one to start out with because of it involving a religious family. Most true crime channels out there are typically, stating the information and, giving background of the people involved with the case, so you kind of get a feel for what's going on. Joni is kind of just giving updates that are based off of Fox News for the most part. And her children are like in the background. You can hear them having meltdowns and stuff in the background. I don't know why she's giving these kind of updates and discussing the kind of violent acts that had happened around her children while they're having issues. And she's doing it in cars and like in her home, and it's just weird. But that's the update on Joni. Very, very to the point. We also have an update on Alex Dacey, aka Wheelchair Rapunzel. I don't know if you guys remember, but the video that I showed you, it's probably been a couple weeks now. The last update that I did on them, where they had flat out said that they were no longer going to be posting their child online. And now we are just completely going without.
That's not.
Oh. Well, let me check really quick because my husband. Oh, well, I see yours. You only did one thing. Oh, okay. Well, let me fix that real quick. My husband's telling me that my chat's not working. But let me. Take this off for a moment. Technical difficulties. Alright. Maybe if I pop the chat out, will it update then? Here. Alright, hopefully he lets me know if that is working so far. Because I won't know otherwise. But anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and move along here. I see it. I think it's just because I didn't have the thing popped out, so it doesn't register with the thing that I'm using. It's alright. Alright, I see it now, and I see your chat's coming up, so I'm gonna assume that fixed it. But, yeah, this is a weird turn Joni took. Kind of fitting with how, like, things are going with her children. Because everybody seems to think that she could be someday a true crime case, if it heads down the same path that it's going. But now we're going to do the update on Alex Dacey. I know I'm just going to reiterate what I just said, but how she had made the update that she was going to be removing all of her content involving her minor child from the internet, and we did not get that. We got her child's Instagram account privated, but that's pretty much all that happened. And she had maybe a week without showing her daughter online. But now we're back to kind of the family content. And I'm guessing it's because her revenue probably took a dip removing her child and not posting content with her child in it. But she's back to parading her child around on the internet, in front of predators that lurk around her Instagram and TikTok accounts. I'm never going to be one of those people that agree with exploiting your children for money on the internet. That's never going to be me. I'll never get to having to resort to invading my child's privacy and removing their ability to consent to their image when it comes to being portrayed online. This goes for all family channels I feel this way on. It's not just it's not just Alex's content. This is all family channels. I feel like it's not in good taste, and maybe if Alex had decided to go a different route and showcase her content separately, because she started out online showing the kind of, I'm a normal teenager, I'm a normal young adult, partying and all of this stuff online and having an OnlyFans and all this stuff. and handicapped people can be sexy and like to have sex and all this stuff. And then we're showcasing our family content on the same brand that was built upon. And it just seems in poor taste. Um, had she separated those and branded them differently, I don't think people would have much of an issue per se with her sharing that content. It's just she doesn't separate. And like I said, when you brand yourself as this handicapped spokesperson for, accessible party life and sex and being shown drunk and out to clubs and barely wearing any clothes from day to day and having toxic relationships with professional relationships she should have and having, you know, problematic personal relationships, I feel like this created a bad place to start posting your child. Hello, Carolyn. Thanks for joining. It's kind of chaotic. It's still a learning curve, learning the live, because everything is like on the spot per se, but I'm slowly trying to get used to it. We're discussing Alex Dacey, also known as Wheelchair Rapunzel, right now. She's a mess. And I understand, like, she's trying to put an image out there that, even as a handicapped person, she can be a good mother and, do the same things that quote unquote normal people are doing and getting to enjoy. Hello, Camby. Welcome to the live. I'm going to go ahead and set up my auto feature here, and hopefully you guys will be able to see your messages come up larger if I set it up right. Let me see if I can pull up Alex's account. I don't want to show her child, so we're not going to do that. But let me see if I can pull up their image here to show y'all what I'm working with here. I tried to make these things as easy to find as possible, but sometimes I have so much stuff on here. There we go. Now I just gotta pull that up here. So this is her latest postings, and they've all been centered around her child being shared on the internet again. But her latest videos were, her daughter's like a little over a year old now, and she made this like cute little, family style, family vlogger style, like meal for her child to eat. It was like broccoli tots and something else, but she gave the child a eating utensil, which was actually a diaper spatula, like the diaper cream spatula. And Alex seemed unfazed by the fact that it shouldn't be used as a eating utensil. She was having a lot of issue with people calling her out on that and the fact that she didn't know that that was what it was used for. And if she had used it as a diaper spatula or the diaper cream and was then letting her child eat off of the same thing, even if it was sanitized, it's a plastic or not plastic, like a silicone material. It's not all that safe if it wasn't properly sanitized. It was just a whole ordeal, and I think Alex just needs to take a break from sharing her child online. I don't think it's a good move for her, and it's been shown time and time again that that is not the way to go as far as receiving backlash from people, because it's almost like she asked for it. And also the fact, like, I know I think is in Florida. She's somewhere warm right now. The last I knew, she was living in Florida. And yeah, Carolyn, it is gross. The last I knew, she was living in Florida. And I don't think they're going to be as lax about having like CPS and stuff called on all the time. At least the stories that I've heard about CPS and stuff being called on people, it's kind of like they don't like think otherwise than just taking your child. So it's not really something to be playing with around here. And the fact that she's seen so many times almost neglecting her child or not being aware of her physical limits versus a fully functioning, capable, chaotic toddler, it can be a recipe for disaster. And then I have a new person to share with you guys that'll be later on. But let's get into I think some video content should be putting up. Let's go with Willow. I think Willow's going to be a great one. So let me first get off of this. And then we're going to find some Willow content. Willow is always entertaining. I haven't checked on her in a little bit. I know the last update I gave. The last update I gave was Willow was still begging for money online, and it was brought to their attention that this wasn't the first time that they begged online, even though they swore up and down that they'd never begged for money online before, never asked for money online before. And then we finally got a apology. So I'm going to pull that up. Close out of this really quick. And bring this up so that we can
I'm making this video
because watch this. So this is the apology video. Let's see how apologetic Willow is over people pointing out that this isn't the first time that they've asked for money online before.
I'm making this video because I said that I would eat my words if I was wrong. It has been proven to me that I was wrong. Some people have even commented, and the account that commented this disappeared. So either they deleted their account or they blocked me or whatever. But the account is gone. So do with that information what you will. But apparently, other than, and I guess I should have counted this, but other than the time when I outright asked for help to get to Atlanta for my birth mother's funeral, which you all came in clutch and helped me get there. It was amazing. I met my birth family, and while it was emotionally draining, and I was incredibly sad that I never got to know my birth mother in person, I at least got to be there to meet the rest of my family. But I was not counting that because I've always paid acknowledgement to that. I've always said, this is the first time, apparently several times, said this is the first time I've asked for help other than insert Atlanta trip. So, having said that, in the comment from the person who deleted their account, or blocked me, whatever they did, They said that there was a time in December and a time in August of 2022. I can't even remember what I did last month, much less 2022. So I guess I need to choose my words better because
I'm gonna say like same, like I can't my day, even though it doesn't consist of much, um, like I can't remember little things from one day to another, but bigger things like I don't know, asking the internet for money, I think I would remember. I don't know, that may just be me. But this seems to be like a running thing with Willow and Amber Lynn. They have like these trauma response memories where they have these big gaps in what they can remember of things happening or what they said. It's kind of convenient. um that I also want to put out that amidst all of this, their cat River is still missing. They have yet to find their cat that's been missing for going on 3 weeks now. Um, and anybody who asks about the cat and like her live streams or just in videos where they see that they haven't brought up their cat missing, uh, Willow kind of gets really mean with them or blocks them fully out. I think I've been blocked on one of my other accounts for asking why they couldn't sell their PlayStation 5 or like any of their gift items that they've gotten from TikTok to be able to fund at least paying off some of their bills, some of the debts owed. Camby, she just gives me weird vibes, and why does she make me feel like we all owe her to go and travel and see her family? A normal person would just never. Uh, that one, it was a shock to me that they even asked people to fund that trip. Especially because people offered to let them stay at their places so that they didn't have to fund also a extended stay in a hotel room because I guess Willow wasn't going to stay with family even though she was traveling to see her family or see their family and to um say goodbye to their birth mother, but the fact that like they had this vision of how the money was going to be spent and they wanted a hotel room for however many days they were staying and they wanted to be able to eat while they were there and then also take care of their stuff back home, and it was like, okay, why do we need to fund that? Yeah, a hotel room and a handicap accessible vehicle. They wanted to be able to put their mobile mobility scooter in it. And I'm just like, you're like really asking for a lot for somebody that has nothing. That it was wild. I remember the live stream where they were like speaking on what all they wanted the money for. And it was like, well, couldn't you, instead of renting a mobility accessible van for the trip for like however many days, why wouldn't you just have somebody that has that take you up there or have some kind of service take you there? And they were totally against it. They wanted to rent a vehicle that had the handicap accessible and then also have the hotel paid for and their food and everything paid for there. And it's like, it seems like a lot to ask. And I don't know if anybody else has caught in some of the videos where they're kind of almost delayed in speaking. They're long-winded speaking. And I was like, I wonder if anybody else has gotten that same vibe. And so I went to the Snark subreddit, which is a dangerous place for when it comes to information about Willow. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about Willow, and like a lot of it is like just the fact that they're a bigger person and that they grift online. That's I mean, that's all and well, and that is what they do. But it did pique my interest if anybody else thought that something else was going on there with either their health or the medication side of things, because of their delay in speech and like even their eye movements. I'm gonna play some more of this and see if you guys catch it in this video, because I caught it a little bit in this video here and there. But I know that they're on pain medication, and they say they only take 2 pills a day, which I feel like 2 pain pills a day is kind of excessive if it's not something more serious. Because I remember being sent home from my C-sections, and I was only taking 1 pain medication, 1 pill a day, and most of the time I didn't even take it because I just wasn't in that much pain to warrant taking medication for it. And we all know about the slippery slope people can fall into with pain medication if it's not regulated well and it's not taken appropriately. But I'm going to go ahead and play this and see if anybody else catches on what I've been seeing. So maybe it's just my eyes.
As I forgot about those times. So, from this moment forth, I will not say if I ever have to come back and ask for any kind of help, for any kind of reason. I will never, ever again say, this is the first time I'm asking, or this is the only time I've asked, or insert whatever phrasing you want here. I know that there's a group out there that thinks I'm just absolute trash and I'm the worst human being ever. But the truth of it is that I'm just trying to get by like anybody else. I know that you all have some kind of delusion that I sit around on TikTok for 8 hours a day and do absolutely nothing else. But as of late, a lot of the time, I'm in so much pain that I'm just trying to get through a day. It's not me trying to just sit around on TikTok all day.
Yeah.
It's not me. You all see a snapshot of a life. You all see a portion of what I do on here. You don't get to see every waking moment of my life. Like right now, it is 3 a.m. Normal people would be asleep. But because I was in so much pain today, and because I have been sick and I'm on 2 different major kinds of antibiotics, I pretty much slept all day. So now I can't sleep tonight. It just... Sorry. It just... It's a never-ending cycle. And we're trying to figure all this out. The long and short of it is, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that it was the first time. I told you all I would eat my words. This is me doing that.
It could definitely be from them not moving around. They I don't know if a lot of people understand how this person is shaped, because what we see on the TikToks is just from, here up most of the time. Liam, this is my husband, everybody. Liam, they like going by they, them. I'm trying to adhere to their pronoun preference, even though we may not like them as a person. Oh, can be, of course. A lot of us aren't out here e-begging. Yeah. I know I let it slip a lot and I try to correct myself in the moment because yeah, they're non-binary and I don't want to be like mean in that aspect. I want to be respectful of their preference as I would anybody's. So I'm trying to be as mindful as possible and I'm trying to correct myself whenever I can. Um but they do their body is shaped different. I will go with that. I'm going to show a picture here in a little bit of an incident that happened with them where they fell out of their yeah, where they fell out of their mobility scooter because they didn't see a huge ass pothole in the road. And they literally have, I don't know who took the picture. Obviously, it was somebody they knew that took the picture because they were okay with it being posted on their Facebook page. But it was of them laying in the road next to this pothole and like up against their mobility scooter. And it's like, yeah, I fell out of it because of the pothole. And I was like, ma'am, you were in a, I'm catching myself again. Like you were in a scooter. It's not like you were in a vehicle and that pothole was huge. Hello, tragically. And the pothole was huge. Like, how did you miss that in your scooter? Did you purposely go to run over it? Like, when I show you the picture, you're gonna laugh. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up right now because it is funny. Um, let's see here. Properties. Um, okay, this is the picture. Pull it up here. Huge. That's what she said. I should have sized this down more. I didn't think that the file size was this big, but it's in a different window. There we go. We're getting there. So, so this is the picture. This is the picture um, of when they fell out of their mobility scooter. Their heads laid up against the mobility scooter. But like it's like the iceberg effect. It's like the iceberg effect. I did not realize that they were built much like Amberlynn. This is Amberlynn at like 50 years old or 47, close to 50. But I was like, why did you post this picture on the internet? And for two, why did you have somebody take the picture of you after you fell out? You know what? I'm not. I don't know who did our dirty this. Like, if a friend did this, this is not your friend. And for two, if this was done by like one of their aides, taken by one of their aides, showing that they fell out of their scooter to show a doctor so that they would get pain medication, that's fucked up. That is so fucked. Oh, I found this picture. I found this picture on. It might have been for a claim, honestly. I wouldn't put it past them, honestly. But I also wouldn't put it past them for pain medication because as I was starting to get into, like, I feel like they're abusing their pain medication. Um, you would think it would be for like a car accident. Maybe they have their mobility and scooter insured though, so maybe that is what's happening here. But But the fact that they had this picture posted, and this was found on the Snark subreddit. Somebody shared the picture from their Facebook page, I guess. And I'm just like, why? Why would you post this? Come on. And somebody had mentioned it in their live. Somebody had mentioned it in their one of their live streams, and Willow kind of blew it off like, well, I had to take a picture of it so that I could show it to my doctor. And I'm like, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. They have these smaller aids. They only have one aid at a time, and I guess this one lives with them. And I made notes about it because I make notes about everything. Um but like we see often on the live streams, they've started pulling photos and snapshots of their live streams. Um yeah. Especially if they're out there off-roading it through the potholes. I mean, that's a bad pothole. How you didn't see that coming is beyond me. Unless they were backing up, but even then, it's like if you were backing up, you had to have known it was there. It's not like you have blind spots with a mobility scooter. Um oh my god. Um but a lot of people have been concerned because they've been nodding off on camera here lately. Um and it's the nod familiar with people that are abusing substances. I'll just say that. Let me go with this little snapshot beauty right here. They're kind of in the same video. The same look going. But they've been caught like multiple times nodding off on camera on live streams. And these aren't even like real super late night, so we can't even say it's like another 3 o'clock in the morning thing and they've just taken their pain medication. This is obviously they took it. I believe this one was at like 11 o'clock, and people were concerned, like, are you okay? People were wanting to call to have a safety and wellness check done. It is sad. And I was thinking, what would happen? Her aides, or their aides, are much smaller than them, like much smaller, more than half the size of. If Willow were to fall out of their mobility scooter, if they were to fall off of the couch or something else, and dead weight is just a dead weight, how is that person going to get them up off the floor? And the way that their house is set up, yeah, I agree, Camby. I think a lot of what they do is behavior that would be kind of pushing the envelope of seeking it out. I know they had an open wound on their stomach, or under their stomach, in the stomach region for a while, and that was being taken care of by the aide. And I believe that may be why they're on antibiotics and stuff now. I honestly don't know what their health issue is to where they need an aid. It is a self-inflicted condition. Maybe not so much the lymphedema, lipedema, because that can affect people of any weight, but I think it's exaggerated by the fact that they don't take care of themselves and have gotten to the point where it's hard for them to manage themselves. Yeah, the weight is keeping them immobile. And I've heard Willow a few times through their TikToks explaining to people why they can't hold down even a remote job anymore because it's just too taxing on their body. And I was like, that I feel is like when you should know that you've hit absolutely rock bottom as like somebody who was once able to do a mobile position before, because I believe the introduction I did of them was when they were talking about having a job with AT&T. They worked mobile or remotely from their home, and they had that what do they call it? The medical thing where they only had to work so many hours, and they were let go because most companies aren't going to keep you around anymore. They need somebody full time, and they can't really cater to, you know, a bunch of part-time people. They need somebody, just one person to fill a full-time position. And Willow's flat out said, I can't do it anymore. Like, I just physically cannot do even a more lax schedule, a part-time schedule. I cannot do it anymore. And I'm just like, you're doing TikToks for a living. You were doing TikToks, 10-minute TikToks, not even showcasing the items that you're trying to sell. And you can't do a part-time work from home remote data entry job where you don't have to talk to anybody. I get it too, but Willow can't even like go and cook for themselves. It's a big like it's a big to do to be able to cook for themselves. So I think their aid has to be like their main source of like mobility at this point. Sometimes they get out on their scooter, like they go places on their scooter, but I think it's like food places, honestly. But Liam, you also have to understand that like when they get to this size, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do if TikTok finally goes under. But once they get to this size, it's almost another safety concern for them trying to be mobile, because who's going to be out there with them if something happens? And if something does happen, it can make them even more immobile because they're going to be wounded. I don't know. It's an awful position to put yourself in, but they've done it. They have done it to themselves. But you can
We'll be
kind of
better
see
in
in
the
this
future.
video what I'm talking about
And
this
honestly,
almost slowed
I'm going
speech,
to
and then they
say,
do like eye rolls.
I'm not going to
and
say I'm never going to
like
ask
closing
again
their eyes like
because
that.
clearly I will, but I'm going to try very hard not to have to come here to TikTok to do such things. The good news is that, cross your fingers, I'm caught up on everything, and I have.
The thing with the aid, though, it's only one person. If Willow were to fall out of that chair while out and about, that aid is not going to be able to help them back in the chair. Yes, they'll be able to go and get help for her, for them, but it may not be quick enough if they were to fall out and like hit their head or something. So it's just too high risk at this point. They need to like lose a lot of, and it has to be done in the kitchen first, honestly. They have to, like, this would be the perfect time to inpatient them. They have to really lower the amount that they're consuming. And they're telling everybody, oh, I'm not eating that much. I barely eat anything, yada, yada, blah, blah. And it's like, that is not all your lymphedema and lipedema. It does definitely get more than 2 pills a day.
Incredible high hopes that I will. Hold on. Sorry. Something distracted me in the background. I think I've said everything I really need to say, and that is, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Apparently, numerous people were right. I don't remember these posts because I've sort of kind of thought about sleeping since then, and I didn't
I don't think there's ever a time that Willow
to-
doesn't have the TV on.
for lack of better phrasing, mislead. It was simply, I didn't remember. I try very hard to not come on here and ask for anything outright. I've tried very hard to remind people who have been kind and who have been amazing and who have sent me gifts to not think that they have to. Because that's not what I want.
They literally cannot stop watching the TV. But they're also like fighting nodding off. You can see the eye roll and like right there.
Articulate what it is I do want, but I just wish people would back off. You can hate me. You can hate everything I say or do. That's fine.
Spooky Fish. And what part's BS?
But leave my family out of it.
What they're saying right now? More than likely.
They don't need to be brought into anything I do here. If my family is brought into something I do here, it will be because I posted something with them and they gave me permission to do so. But calling them is just...
Spooky Fish, her apology, non-apology. Yeah, Willow's apology is about as apologetic as her sales pitch is successful. Not very. Willow is ridiculous. The fact that like they are so set that this is not begging online for money and that they shouldn't have to part with their gifts and things that they take leisure in, like the PlayStation 5, I believe has been brought to their attention that they could sell their PlayStation 5 and make enough money to cover at least one of their bills without having to beg people online for money. And they are so against selling something that brings them joy. And it's like, you have a smartphone that you film all these TikToks on. Get games for the smartphone. Liam, if we were like strapped for money and needed to sell things, I wouldn't without a doubt think that we would sell the PlayStation 5 to be able to have money to get by on. Like if it was a necessity and we had to do it to be able to have money to not be, broke or homeless, I think we would do it. GTA 6 comes out next week, please. But But see, they don't even do that. They couldn't do that, I don't think, because they're not healthy enough. You do have to be pretty healthy to sell blood. Um but when bringing up suggestions on things that they could, pawn or sell to be able to have that money, they're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not parting with it. It's the only thing that keeps me sane. You were nodding off during TikTok live streams. You are trying to sell unique without ever showing anybody the product. And when you do show the product, I'm about to get into a video on that. Because when they do show the product, it does not go well. Let me see if I can bring this up. Of course, it's got to play. And you guys can't see it. I'll get used to this eventually, the live streaming thing, I promise. Today's probably not going to be the day, but it's a work in progress. Oh yeah, they'll gladly take. Well, I wish I saved the soundbite from the live stream, but they were like, "Why wouldn't I take something if somebody offers me the money? I'd be dumb to turn that down." And I'm like, "Excuse me." They're trying to pay your way because they feel sorry for you. I want to say dumbass, but like, let's not be an asshole about it and say, well, of course I'm going to do it. I'd be dumb not to take the money if somebody's offering it. I mean, somebody paid her their full, spooky, that is disgusting. Disgusting. Ew. But there's a market for it, I'm sure. But oh. Mm-mm-mm. But to get back to Liam's question, where's your question at here? There we go. How much money are strangers giving them, and what are they spending it on? Apparently somebody paid in full their phone bill, and it was like $320. And I'm like, for one, what the hell is on their phone bill? Who do they have service through? Because we have AT&T, and for 2 lines plus 2 additional lines of tablets, it's like 210, I think, something like that. $320 for 1 line. Maybe, I guess 2, because I do see them sometimes with 2 phones. So possibly they have another line. Yeah. But I have a video here of them advertising for Younique, that makeup business that they try to unload off on TikTok. Yeah. Pull it over here and see if this works. Change screens here. Nope. There we go. This is a video that somebody off of the subreddit had pulled because they had started noticing Willow nod off a lot during live streams, and this was during a demonstration of the Younique makeup that they sell on TikTok. And it's kind of sad. And they dropped the makeup brush.
Dang it. Are we getting the it's not grammatically correct? argument again? Here, for everybody who doesn't think they, them is grammatically correct to use for one person. Willow was going to the store. As they entered the building, they saw their friend coming towards them. There you go. Used in first person singular.
Crazy eyes.
Oh, people.
But they had dropped their makeup, bruh. Oh, yeah. But the fact that they dropped the makeup brush, if you wouldn't in that moment be like, oh my God, I shouldn't be live streaming right now. I obviously am not in a good spot to be putting makeup around my fucking eyeballs, for one. And then nodding off. Like if they would have fell forward and their hand would have stayed there, that would have went in their eye. On Willow. Yeah. That's the sad part. I'm sure it didn't occur to them that. And then they've started watching like TV series on their TikTok, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? You're literally filming you watching television. Oh, they are. And like the whole abusing of the pain medication. I mean, pain management drugs and prescriptions can be a very slippery slope. And, you know, while it does help dull whatever pain they have, they can be heavily addicting, and that can have some really dire consequences for Willow. They're already not in a good space they're on some kind of heavy antibiotics for some kind of infection that's going on that their body's trying to fight. Whether or not that's from their lymphedema issues with their legs, or if it's from I'm assuming the wound on or under the stomach is still an issue. The fact that they are on these heavy antibiotics and taking pain medication on top of it for pain management, like this could be a very bad segue into something more dangerous. And with having only one aide in the house and the space constraints because of Willow's living conditions with their hoarding and clutter, should a fall happen in the chair or getting out of the chair or off the couch, if they were to fall and their aide can't get to them, on top of like emergency services not being able to reach them because of their size and the clutter around, they could be dangerous. Not to mention they have like 7 or 8 cats. Well, I guess it would be 6 cats now because one of them is still missing, but like they have 7 cats in the house and other animals that like to be around them all the time. If they were to fall on those animals, on one of those animals, that could kill it. I'm sorry. It would kill that animal. In a drug-induced nod, falling and killing one of their pets would be horrific. It can be. I hope she's taking a lot of fiber with all those pain meds. I mean, from what I've seen of their diet, I don't think there's any fiber in there. if it's not takeout food. They were eating caramel the other day and spilled it all over themselves and were cussing about the fact that they spilled caramel all over themselves. And I'm like, okay, this is real awkward. But I think I want to cover. I'm going to cover the newer person that I feel everybody may or may not have an opinion on. They would definitely be the type. Willow would definitely be the type to ask for people to donate to have the animal cremated. I don't know about buried because how would they get to the burial? But be cremated and have a special urn made for them, and then pay to either have a new rescue brought in or help pay for the I'm assuming at this point that the cat River is going to come back pregnant. And so there's going to be another brood of kittens that Willow is going to keep. That's going to be a fucking mess when that happens. If they think they're hated now, they're definitely going to be hated if they keep 4 to 6 more kittens on top of what they already have, because they already have River's kittens from the last time that cat got pregnant. So we'll see what happens with that. The next person I want to cover, I don't know if anybody has heard anything on Lily Contino, Lily Tino on TikTok. Let me pull up their TikTok right quick. Lily Tino. So this is a trans girl on a mission. This is a male to female trans woman. Now, this is a very controversial person, or we wouldn't be discussing them on this channel. They have a lot of questionable takes on things. Questionable takes and questionable decisions made on information where they should be sharing it. They're a food reviewer on TikTok that is sharing their transition journey. I believe they're a little over a year into it now, I think. I haven't been able to do much digging on this creator. Most of what I've seen has just been through passing of watching them on TikTok. They have a podcast on YouTube as well. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. YouTube. Voila. But most of their video content on YouTube is it looks like it's just like live stream clipped content. I know they have a few videos here in the beginning that were supposed to be their like podcast type deal, but it looks like they kind of ran out of steam on it once they figured out that YouTube wasn't as lucrative for them as TikTok, because as you can see here, they only have like 1.28 thousand followers on YouTube, but if you go over to their TikTok, they have 323,000. So YouTube just isn't as lucrative as TikTok for them, especially because a good deal of their money is coming through TikTok and a Patreon page that they have. I haven't seen their Patreon yet. I probably should take a look at it sometime just to see what they share there. But they also have a Discord, which has been deemed kind of controversial because it shares information about transitioning, of course, but it also has next to transitional talk and then like more not safe for work type talk. Then they have a separate listing for family and children photos. Really weird. Uh, but I found out about Lily on TikTok through a few other creators that had covered Lily's content and how they felt some type of way with how she was treating wait staff from her food reviews that she was doing. She made it a point, it's almost a personality trait now, to call out people misgendering her in restaurant settings. Most of the time, these are like heavily trafficked restaurants where there's a lot of people around, and it's likely that the staff is already stressed and dealing with, you know, multiple tables of people that they're having to cover. So hearing a voice, and as deep as Lily's voice is, it's easy to not think about it and accidentally refer to them as sir. She is feminine presenting and prefers to be addressed as she, her. And I just don't think that it equates much into restaurant settings. I know people are like, well, they can't see by looking at me that I would prefer to be addressed as she, her. Spooky's exhausted already. But they're very interesting. And you know, it's one thing to educate people on preferred pronouns, on being trans and the different genders, but it's another thing to kind of parade this agenda and going a step further to address higher ups like managers and people over the managers if they're not taking into consideration that she wants to be referred to as female, she wants to be referred to as her. And the overstepping and putting people's jobs at risk in this economy is just kind of icky feeling. This isn't the only issue people have had with Lily either. I'm going to go ahead and play the video of them being misgendered in public at a restaurant that they were sitting in. If it'll play.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, please. And just so you know, are you my server? Yes. My pronouns are she, her.
Okay. That's all good for me.
Thank you.
I understand the whole thing, but it's complicated sometimes because I want to say ma'am, but she is, you know what I mean? It's hard because over here she might be they or something. You know, they have different. But I mean, I have no problem. I grew up here in San Francisco.
Okay. If you want, I can help.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay.
I mean, it's just all I'm getting at is it's just one should not expect that one, even though he's San Franciscan and liberal and open, will know all that because I'm a little bit older and I don't have a lot of friends, so I'm not always saying she, he, they, whatever. You know? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just a little bit complicated. It's not in a sense, but it, you know, like you want me to say man or she. Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, I have no problem, but there are a lot of... Anyway, regular water. Let's do one thing at a time.
Hi there.
But as you can see, like, they were mistakenly misgendered. It's not like the person had any... Yeah. But you could tell that the server was flustered because Lily decided to make a spectacle of it. They were live streaming the whole encounter. The person probably saw that they were filming on top of everything, and they're trying to like not lose their fucking job because the customer's always right in those situations. And it's just like, this is a very Karen move. Like, that you can tell the guy was trying to make things right and like warn them ahead of time. You know, this is just new to me. It takes a minute. Even myself, I catch myself in it all the time. I don't have a lot of dealings with trans. We've my husband and I both have been around a lot of trans people, but we don't have daily interactions to where this would be something we would have to be, cognizant of. We would have to have thought into like making sure that we can't be. I'd have lost my job. It's like it's difficult sometimes if you're not in that environment all the time. And I constantly catch myself misgendering people, and it's not because I'm like an asshole about it. I honestly don't think about it. It's something that I've grown up with. Like I've lived in small towns all my life. It's not like there's trans people at every fucking corner. So to think that like these servers that are serving you have ever been in that situation enough times where they would have to like be aware of it is kind of asinine. It's a Karen move. If you like, she's definitely pulling the Karen out of the bag with this, because somebody losing their job over this is totally. And on top of that, the service industry is stressful because there are already so many rules that you're trying to remember to follow. Exactly. And you're trying to probably juggle a lot of tables, and especially if it's a finer eating establishment, there's like so many rules on top of that. It's you're adding stresses to an environment that's already super stressful. And this isn't even Lily's like only thing, the only gripe that people have against her. It's the fact that she does a lot of like rage baiting content with controversial opinions on things. There was one in particular where she was discussing a dating scene, or the dating scene in general, and how people that care about what's between their potential partner's legs are deemed as transphobic if they care what's between their partner's legs. In this instance, I believe Lily is a lesbian. That's what they identify with. They like women. They identify as lesbian because they identify as a woman. And they're hurt on dating sites where they're trying to go after lesbian women, that the lesbian women don't want to be with them intimately, because Lily has not went through with the full surgery yet, the full bottom surgery. I know they're in the process of doing it, but they haven't had the full removal yet. And lesbians are off turned by that. Honestly, like, if you prefer one thing, you're not going to take the other. Like, if you prefer tacos, you're not going to want a hot dog. But they take offense to it and call it transphobic. And it's like, that's not really what that is. That's just people's preference. People are allowed to have preferences on who they want to be with romantically. There's this creator that made a stitch to this particular video, and their name is Clarkson Lawson on TikTok, and they replied to the video with their opinion on the opinion of Lily. And I couldn't find the original video, so I don't know if it was from a live stream that they had clipped from, or if it was a video that's now removed because of the ridiculousness of the statement. But I'm going to play it for y'all, because it's just...
Is it transphobic to not want to date trans people? The answer is yes.
No, just because people aren't attracted to you doesn't make them any type of phobic, okay? There are plenty of straight men who are not attracted to me in the slightest. I don't think they're homophobic. They're just straight.
Now, is there an argument to be made that, like, the parts down there are something you don't like? I think that for 99% of the examples here, that's not the case, and that it really does stem from transphobia.
You have the audacity to say that in 99% of cases when somebody's not attracted to you, it's because they have a phobia against you? Really? Maybe they just have a preference based off of sex. Have we thought about that, or are we not allowed to have those preferences anymore? Because I personally wouldn't date somebody with female parts. Not because I have a phobia, but because I'm gay. You know, it's getting really exhausting when my sexuality is lumped into an alphabet with this, when this is literally at odds with my sexuality. Now, I believe everybody is entitled to their rights, but I'm not going to allow people to erase my sexuality in the name of ideology. I'm not.
I don't think they were wrong in that, stating that. That was very on the nose. It's Lily is just a very colorful personality. And their latest stunt has been going to Disneyland that was paid from their followers footing the bill. I think it was through their Patreon and through their live streams that footed the bill for the Disney trip. And somebody even went as far as to throw them extra money, like I think it was like $120 to be able to get one of those custom lightsabers done while they were in Disney. And they decided, oh, I don't have the space for that. I'm going to get this other thing instead with the money. And it's like, well, I mean, at this point you've already done it. So what does it matter telling them? I guess better late than never telling them that you spent their money elsewhere. But this video in particular, I'm even going to bring up the side-by-side panel because I want to read through the comments a little bit.
I'm going to get banned from...
But they even preface it right off the bat that they feel like they're going to be banned from Disney for stating what they're about to state. I'm just going to play the video and we're going to have a talk about it. Because
I'm going to get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there, or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed.
Hi, Hannibal. Thanks for joining.
What's up? My mom's here, by the way. The marshmallow tunnel.
Now, mind you, this was filmed. I don't know if y'all heard it in the background. This was filmed and discussed around children in the fucking background. Can't be. I'm never eating treats. There were fucking children in the background while they were discussing their sex change. Thank you. Hopefully you got to enjoy Mother's Day with your mother and or any women in your life that have had children. I found this this was the perfect person to talk about on Mother's Day. By the way, everyone that I've talked about so far in some aspect is a mother. Lily, this was done in such poor taste. And the fact that they were already self-aware that, you know, this was going to be something that was going to be deemed as controversial going into it, that they might be banned from Disney for even sharing this information around fucking children. There were children in the vicinity. I believe even right behind them was a stroller with a family discussing sex change surgery. Now, while... Exactly, and I was going to say that because I'm not condemning trans people for what this trans person does. Well, that's another thing that I wanted to talk on. Like, I feel like this progressive build that Lily has on rage baiting the audience that views her content. This is very suggestive toward children, and I want to flat out say that, like, this is not saying, like, this is bad for trans people because they see this person as an advocate for the trans movement, an advocate for trans women, and this is bad representation of that. And I'm not saying that they were using the terminology to pander toward children, but they were dumbing it down for an audience. Like, this was an obvious dumb down and trying to hide the fact that they were talking about sex change surgery. And you're using food to discuss body parts and thinking their whole reasoning behind it was the kids weren't going to understand what they were talking about because they were using food as reference. And it's like, that right there would let me know that kids are going to get the reference to what you're talking about, because they're going to go to mommy and daddy and they're going to be like, what is a marshmallow tunnel? What is hair from popsicle sticks? Like, what are you talking about? You're making it accessible for children to understand what the fuck you're talking about. And it's just so gross. And, like, I get that she wants to inform people about their journey and give information about the procedures. This could have been done at home. This could have been done in their car, away from everybody. This is personal information that you don't need to be sharing with a public platform like that. Well, not public platform, but like in a public setting around young children. This was in poor taste, and they got called out for it big time by a lot of creators saying, like, this is not good. The fact that you are trying to be this face of this community and putting such a bad taste in everybody's mouth because of how you're going about things. And, you know, most trans youth that I'm sure that they're trying to pander to in this situation, by dumbing down the terminology and making it accessible for other people to understand what's going on. But most trans youth can't even have these surgeries until they're an adult, until they're at least 18 years of age. So putting this information out there, these kids already know what the hell what you're talking about when you say penis and vagina. Like, they know. And you're trying to dumb it down because of the area that you're in, when in reality you're dumbing it down and you're making it accessible for young children to understand what you're talking about. It's just not an appropriate area to share the information. Disney is for children and families. Families don't want to hear about your penis and your vagina and what will be a penis and vagina through food terminology. Just give your food review and move on, and give your sex transformation surgery, your your journey. Yeah, Blair White did get onto her for this. But, like, this, it just puts a bad, like, it's already painting this movement in a bad light with the amount of people that are supposed advocates for this movement and for being trans. It makes them look even more dirty, and people don't want to be associated with this. Hello, not your mom. Hey. But it's the fact that they even joked about them possibly being kicked out of Disney. You knew that it wasn't. You knew that it wasn't appropriate. And now to move on to hopefully something a little more lighthearted, we're going to move on to Wendy, or Simple Treasures for Sale, because Wendy and her group of people, they are funny. They're funny. Should I post the memes first? Hmm. I'm debating on it. But first, we're going to do Wendy's car rant. So let me switch back my view here for video. There we go. And pull up the video here. So apparently Wendy, or Simple Treasures for Sale on TikTok, went on a road trip and somebody hit their car while it was parked in the parking lot. And this was an altercation that happened. And it's just entertaining. Because I feel like sometimes Wendy just likes to gripe. And I don't believe, most times I don't believe for a second that some of the interactions happened. But we're going to hear her rant about this.
Okay. This just happened. And so I feel like I need a card or a set of sticky notes that say this. What one should do if you park next to a car and you open up your car door and you hit the car with the person in it. Things to do. Number 1, close your door just a little bit. When you have hit the car, you should...
Before or after you've already hit the car? Should we close the door a little bit?
Just bring the door, just so it's no longer sitting on top of the car anymore. Number 1. Number 2, you should say, I'm so sorry. Or I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Or number 3, you should look. Did it make a dent? Did you dent somebody or scratch somebody's car? Number 4, you should say, hey, I'm so sorry again. I don't think it did any damage. Did you want to get out and look to check, see too? Yeah, I'm sorry. None of those things just happened. I'm sitting in my car. It's before work. I'm going to go in here in just a second. This lady pulls up next to me in another white SUV. You can see it right there. A little bit bigger than mine. She pulls up, and it took her 5 times to park. She got out, adjusted, readjusted, all of that. Was in and out of the car to park. Okay. And I was kind of like, oh, that's not a good sign, but all right, what have you? Do what you got to do type thing. So then all that happens. She finally settles on the parking, and I'm like, that seems a little close. A little close, but okay. I'm sure she's within lines. I'm within lines, what have you. Okay. She opens up the door. Wham! The car moves. And I looked over and I went, really? There was no, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Or there was no, acknowledgement. None. No acknowledgement whatsoever. And I was like, really? And she looked at me and went, what? And I'm talking through the window. The fact that you hit the car? She gets out, shuts the car door, and walks around. I open up the door and I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. Because I always gotta be the smart ass. I can't just let it go and let the person go in. No, I gotta open up the car door and start an exchange. Yes, I'm perfectly aware one of these days I'm probably gonna get shot doing that, but can't just let it go. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I looked. There was no damage. And I said, well, I'm sure it's fine. Don't worry about it. Type thing. And she just turned around and walked right in. It's the unapologetic. In fact, I've done it. I've tapped somebody. it wasn't as hard, didn't move the car like this did. And I'm like, really? It's just the unapologetic that I did nothing wrong. For me, that just gets me. And that's really what boils my blood. It's oh, I didn't mean to do that. Accidents happen, things happen, all of that. People don't mean for them to happen. Just acknowledge the fact it happened.
Am I wrong? They did acknowledge it happened. They said there wasn't any damage. I mean, it sounds to me that it was like an elderly person, maybe having a bad day, and accidentally opened up the door a little too hard. But the fact Wendy's having to make a big deal out of it and have this whole commentary with herself and her vehicle in the passenger side while waiting on somebody to come and drive her somewhere. It says a lot. Because you know she didn't say anything. She just witnessed somebody possibly hit her car with their car door and possibly say to her that no damage was done. And then she decided to have a rant about it after the person was no longer in her peripherals. Oh, Wendy. And then we also have, y'all, Wendy has been attending these how do you refer to them? Like the male stripping shows that they they have, the what is it called? Something Down Under. There's also like Chippendales type dancers, those kind of things. So Wendy likes to partake in those shows. And she posted to her TikTok. Let me see if it's still on there. She posted to her TikTok showing them cheering on the show. And it's called Shades of Hunks. I don't know if the music's going to be copyrighted or not at this point. I don't care if it is or not. Let me open up the side panel because I want to see the comments. But I've never once seen anything like this. I have never seen thirsty women like this. I have never in my life seen thirsty women like this. I know they exist, especially now that I'm seeing it through this. I know they exist, but I don't think I was prepared for this. Let me go to my filters here because I feel like this background filter is too much. And I just know from watching this earlier when I was going to source my materials for tonight that the aromas of that event are what I picture the aromas of some soggy tuna melt left out on a hot day, and possibly some Funyuns. Or if we're to go the Chantal route and description, I would say barracuda and ricotta cheese. But we're gonna watch this, and then I think that's gonna be all for tonight. After we watch this, the captions will be up in the replay, possibly by tomorrow night. Sometime tomorrow, I'll have them up. But I'm gonna leave you guys after this with a compilation of a YouTuber that goes by Simpleton Treasures here on YouTube. And it was just a compilation of Cranky Wendy videos that I'll leave you guys with, and then I will cut the live after that. Girlfriend, these women were going crazy back in the 90s when my friends and I would go to a club that had male strippers on Thursdays. Spooky, I know these men get paid. The amount of bills that are hanging from this, what we're about to watch, this one woman's lined her pants and bills, with the amount of bills that they have lined up and what these men do physically during these shows, I know they get fucking paid. At least I hope they better. And I also love that the one comment is that is so hot. This is just wild to me.
Switch up the lights and close your eyes. Feel the energy inside.
Wendy is filming this, and I think she's there with her friend Lorraine. Smells of sweat and regret. Just middle-aged, thirsty middle-aged women. If this was my job, I would just go and sit in silence when it was over. My husband and I were watching this earlier when I was sourcing clips, and he saw this, and I was like, do you think that they have discussion backstage on like what the smells were that they had to endure during these shows? Because you see how they are like all up in the women's business and throwing them around and stuff. It's they're doing a service. I'm waiting for one of these times where Wendy or Lorraine are up there on stage with one of these men. I will live for that day. That would be the whole page. I would just balloon it up and we would just watch that. Good Lord. Nothing says amazing weekend like being sandwiched between two male strippers' asses. That song just reminds me of Fortnite. Which coincidentally is Amberlynn's favorite new game. Is that you, Amberlynn? But I'm going to leave you guys with some video video of Wendy. Is this post Panini World? I think so. Oh my goodness. Let me find that YouTube video and I will leave you guys with that for the end of tonight's stream. So you guys have something to watch on the way out.
Because I'm a whore.
Good Lord, she is loud. But I think that's going to end it for tonight. I'm going to leave you guys with the Cranky Wendy outro. You guys can see what a compilation of videos strung together by a YouTuber that felt like putting together some good clips. Thank you too, Carolyn. I'm glad you guys had a good time. I'm getting more and more used to this. I'm trying to be more streamlined in it. I know I'm not the best live streamer out there, especially when it goes to podcasting content, but I'm getting there. I will be more comfortable doing this and more, I guess, ready for the issues that I run into. But I will see you guys on the next one. And again, the closed captions for tonight's live stream will be up within 24 hours. So for those that want to watch the replay without having to listen to it, it'll be up tomorrow night. Bye, though. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching. And thank you all for subscribing. I appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great night.
Horrible person because I'm nasty. All right, that's it. What are we gonna make? So I've restarted it twice. So I'm not restarting it again. Oh, you weren't coming for me, but you are now? Okay. Come on, let's go. I don't know anything about Nick Hickman. The lovely people of Trollton, which since you brought him up, you're probably part of them, ruined that for me, so I will not be going to see him again. Okay. I don't know where y'all been. I've been showing the products this whole entire time. Fire department, fire trucks were on the street, blocking the whole entire street, and I could not get out of the driveway.
For the love of God, girl, why are you so pressed over a brush? And for the information, I have a brush set. And look at there. It tells you every brush that's in here. Now, go to here. You tell me which brush is which. There's no names on them. And I'm sorry, at 5 in the morning, I don't want to try and match brush for brush to figure out, and I can get...
Nice people tend to do better with sales. I don't know who said I was doing badly. So, maybe you should worry about yourself. I know, there I go again being nasty. I never said I was a nice person. Never claimed to be a nice person. I'm supposed to be nice to you, but nobody has to be nice to me. Why won't you respond to I never said I wouldn't respond to emails.
Just easier.
I said it's easier to DM instead of emails. When you get when you have 5 separate email accounts and emails are all coming through, and some of them are going to trash.
It's a whole lot easier.
It's a whole lot easier to DM me. You have to watch me stuff my face. You can leave. So, and girl, that loves me. But if I can't be nice and handle social media, then I shouldn't. How about you just don't watch? I don't think being an asshole is a hobby. It's just who you are.
Why aren't you having fun and laughing?
Because you just keep going on and on about underwear. I'm tired of hearing about underwear.
Well, you don't wear any anyway, so what are you talking about? You're anti-underwear, man.
You know, I'm going to go to bed if you don't... What are you yakking about? Okay, will you stop saying that?
What, Tadunta does?
Yes.
You never heard him called Tadunta does?
I don't know, but it's giving me a headache. I'm rude now.
You know what? Fuck them.
See?
But, well, they want to say stupid stuff. They're going to get told to fuck off. If they don't like it, fuck off.
Do you miss going to concerts? Who said I stopped?
Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Come on, guys.
Okay, I can't look at 2 screens at once. So if I'm just looking at this, I'm not filling orders. Trying to buy is not sold out.
What's she trying to buy?
The bombshell. Lauren goes,
I went to a coffee drive-thru that I've been wondering about and got myself a tea, and, they have bagels there.
I'm not really sure what somebody keeps asking about Vanilla Bean Noel. I've gone over several times what I have. There's no reason to be embarrassed for me. I'm not embarrassed. I know jokes when I hear them.
You know what, girl? I don't give a shit what it looks like. I will delete what I want as I want. And you can go fuck yourself too.
It's minus 24 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fuck that.
Go over and join us on YouTube. We need 50 people to do that.
But don't do that. Because you know what's going to happen? All the not nice people are. Alright, well, do it
Nothing.
anyway.
I won't say nothing.
Well, they were very excited at work. They were like, "Oh, you're wearing makeup. Do you have a date?" And I'm like, "No, it's for work. I'm going to the work thingy."
You know, that's kind of sad there, Lorraine. Just say it. You know what's going to happen to you in a minute?
Are we going to O'Neill's tonight?
No. I'm not going out in the rain.
You got a car, don't you?
You can go.
I don't know
If you
how to
can
get
find
there.
it, you win. I feel like we should put on a disclaimer. He's extra annoying this afternoon. Just saying.
It's forever sunshine.
Okay, guys. Who's
It's partly
It's a
attitude, the desire to be happy, the desire to see things on the sunny side,
yes?
to see that silver line. I wanted to say yes, but no, I drank.